start it up. Hey everybody, Brooks from Drag Times here. Welcome to the channel. It is prep time of the rematch between my Ferrari F8 Tributo and the McLaren 720S. In the last video you saw these run heads up. Got a lot of complaints thinking I set that up, but that was reality. Racing doesn't always go as you might think. But this time we're gonna try and get both cars in a better situation for better times for both. There's a track hurdle coming up, and tonight I got a lot of work to do. I picked up a set of wheels that I borrowed from Ben over at Wheels Boutique, and I put these Toyo R888R tires on these wheels, which I'm gonna put on the back of the Ferrari right now. And I also got another set of the same tires, which go on the back of the McLaren 720S. Also, for this video, I'm shooting it entirely on this new GoPro Hero 9 Black Series. This has the front-facing screen, as well as the rear, the mod casing, the media mod casing on the right, along with this light at the top. So let me know in the comments what you think of the quality shooting this entire video on the GoPro. I'm used to shooting on much higher and larger rigs. And I think it's going to do a really, really good job. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to pick one of these things up. So all we have to do is hope for no rain and we can get this race done. Since I have to jack up the cars to get the tires on, I'm also going to weigh them in. I got a brand new set of scales right here, computer scales, and these things are awesome. And what we're gonna do is put both cars on the scales, see what they weigh, and also compare it against what McLaren and Ferrari say their cars weigh, because it's not always what you think. There's dry weight, curb weight, weight without fluids and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, even after all that, when you actually weigh the cars, they don't actually weigh what you think they might. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that the Toyo tires on the Ferrari are gonna make that much of a difference. I think on the street, it will make a difference, but at the track, I was hooking pretty good on the stock tires. I felt a little bit of spin, not that much, but nevertheless, what I'm gonna do is get the tires on right now, weigh the car, and then take the car out, quarter-mile test on the street using the V-Box. And I'm curious to see if we pick up mile an hour. The DA dropped a tiny bit from the last test, not too much. It's about 1,500 now, but it is actually a little wet. So if it dries up, I'll take it out and do a test with the tires, without it hopefully not spinning on the street, and see what we get. All right, so it's time to get started. I gotta get the Tesla Model 3 out of here. I gotta get the Huracan Evo out of here. I gotta drop the 720 down, move the Ferrari over, get everything jacked up, swap the tires, get it weighed, and get everything sorted. All right, hop in the Huracan here. Oh, gotta be real close. Don't hit the tires, that's close. Jump in here. Oh, this is by far my best sounding car. Cold starts on this are always the best. Roll down the window so you can hear that V10. Oh yeah! All right, cold start on the Ferrari. I think the Ferrari's got my favoriteest key out of all my cars. Just something about this red. Of course, I like red. Ferrari key. Hop in here, give this a cold start. It's got a place for the key right there. And start it up. Not bad, not bad. All right, so that took a while. Let's get started. Let's crank down. Lucky I got AC in the garage. We'll turn that down. Close both garages. Cool it off a little bit. Tools for the job. We got my torque wrench, socket set. This Milwaukee adjustable Bluetooth torque wrench. You can adjust exactly what foot-pounds you want to take them off and put it back on. Milwaukee light. so I could see. I like Milwaukee tools, you know why? Because they're red. Go figure, everything's fucking red. And low profile hitch. All right, so there we go. Wheels are on, and I'm just cooling off. Wow, I love AC in the garage. Nevertheless, here we go. Here is the Toyo R888Rs on the, now these wheels are actually a little heavier. These are the cast Ferrari wheels, the cheaper ones. These are the forged wheels. So this is gonna add, I think, 3 pounds per wheel, plus the tires. The Toyos are actually heavier than these tires as well. So whatever the weight is, we're gonna have to subtract about 3, 6, maybe 12 pounds. Nevertheless, let's check out the weight, see what the Ferrari weighs. And it comes in at 3,453 pounds. So that's not actually that bad, considering this is not a carbon tub car. Obviously the McLaren's gonna weigh quite a bit less, but what does Ferrari say the car weighs? And I got a copy of the sheet that comes out of the manual, which lists the weights. Let's check it out. And it says right here, dry weight is 2932 and curb weight is 3163. So the dry weight is supposed to be without any fluids in the car, fuel, oil, coolant, all that kind of good stuff, differential fluid, all that kind of stuff. And the curb weight is supposed to be what the car weighs as it's delivered. So I don't know where the extra 290 pounds is coming from, because this scale is accurate and it's 3453. It says it's supposed to weigh 3163. Now you might say, well, you got a lot of options in your car that weigh it down. I don't have options worth 290 pounds, that is for sure. I have the lightweight carbon seats, I got the lightweight wheels. The only really thing in this car that would add weight would be the upgraded stereo, and I don't know, I think that's about it. Now there are some lighter carbon options on the car which I could have gotten. There are some carbon front pieces and a carbon under tray and some other things, but I guarantee there is no way that that is going to be 290 pounds worth. I will also mention there is about less than a quarter tank of fuel, maybe an eighth of tank of fuel in here and in the McLaren 720S, so it'll be relatively fair when comparing the weights of the two cars. Nevertheless, I'm going to take the Ferrari out, drop down the McLaren, change the wheels on the McLaren, and weigh it. We'll see what that weighs. And then we'll jump in the Ferrari and do a street test, quarter mile, to see what this car does on the street with the Toyo tires, to try and get an idea of where we're gonna be for the rematch. All right, cold start in the McLaren. Not nearly as cool of a key as the Ferrari, but still. They used to be carbon fiber. McLaren kind of cheaping out with the key, with the 720, but anyways. Doors goes up, that's definitely a plus of the McLaren. All right. All right, next up, let's weigh the McLaren 720S. This is gonna take a little longer than I thought because the 720S tires are on the bottom of this stack. And All right, so here we go. We got the McLaren 720S on the scales, and let's see how it does compared to what McLaren says it does. Now, no David Blaine tricks here, no David Copperfield, no magic levitation under here, anything like that, no trickery. And the weight of the 720S is about the same amount of fuel as the Ferrari, comes in at 3,158, if you can see that right there. Wow, what a difference. So the 720S is 300 pounds, 290 pounds lighter than the F8. But what does McLaren say it weighs? Let's check it out right now. Here is the McLaren specs directly out of the spec sheet of the 720 manual. So right there, curb weight, 3,293 pounds. Now that's saying with a 75 kilogram driver, subtract 165 pounds, we get 3,128 pounds and 3,158 right here. Within just a few pounds of what McLaren says it actually weighs is what this car weighs. Now, this car could have a couple options in it that weighs it down. It does have the upgraded stereo, and that right there could account for 20 pounds. So McLaren is dead on with the weight of what it says. Ferrari is 300 pounds off. Now, of course, we gotta talk about real quick the McLaren 765 LT, which should subtract about 120 to 140 pounds off the 720S, which means the real world weight of a 765 will probably come in at under 3,000 pounds with another 50 horsepower and 15% shorter gearing with a little aero. Whatever you're gonna add up, the 765 is gonna be an absolute monster. Now, with everything weighed and measured, let's hop in the Ferrari and see if the Toyos stick and see what kind of times we can get out of it. Well, that is really bad news, as you can see. These tires are spinning worse than the stock P0s that came on the car, and I guess I haven't run these tires in a while. They've been sitting in my garage. I just buzzed Jimmy and told him what happened. He said, check the dates. These are my P0s. So the dates on these Toyos are unfortunately 2017. So 3 years old, and there's plenty of tread, but over time tires just go bad. So now I'm in a bad situation because race time's coming up, and I already swapped the tires on the McLaren too, and I looked at the tires on that car, and those are 2017 as well. So I think to be safe, I'm gonna swap the tires back and get ready for the race today, and hopefully it doesn't rain and all this is for nothing. But nevertheless, lesson learned. If you could do all this work, gosh, check the dates on the tires, because wow, what a big waste of time. I mean, what happens with the Ferrari is once it starts to spin, if it spins through second, it short shifts the gear and the tire run is just botched. So maybe the track is sticky enough for these to work, but I don't think I want to risk it, because once it spins through second too much, it short shifts that gear. Car's still fast, don't get me wrong, but it's going to just kill the quarter-mile time. I mean, it's running worse on these Toyos than it is on the original street tires. I think I got 10.6 where I'm getting 10.3 on the other tires. All right, well, that's a wrap of this video. Let me know what you think about the weight, manufacturer claims versus reality. Obviously, the McLaren is a lot lighter due to its carbon tub. The Ferrari, just, I don't know what's going on. Why they state it weighs one thing and it weighs another, while the McLaren, was right on spec. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, we'll keep the videos coming, and then let me know what you think of the quality of this video, because the entire video was shot on that new GoPro Hero 9 with the front facing screen, the mod thing on around it, as well as the mod light. I'll put a link down in the description for the Hero if you want to pick that up, as well as the V-Box that I was using. Thanks for watching.